Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Teesha. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're going to do a huge post-burn candle review. So I have been trying to do these more often, so I'm not showing you like 15 candles, which is so weird. But this week I did get through 7 3-wick candles, a Homeworks candle, a soy from Kringle, and 3 single wicks. So that's a lot. However, I do sometimes do a current burn review and then I put about half of the candle back. So some of these I didn't start from the top this week, but I did finish up, from previous current burn reviews and things like that. So I think that's kind of how I get through so many. I get that question a lot in the comments, like, how do you get through so many candles? And I think that's probably it, but I'm also a consistent burner. I mean, it's part of my routine. I do have a single wick that I light up in the morning with coffee, and then, sometimes I'll take one to the office, and, candles are a really big part of my hobby and interest, so I'm constantly using them. So I think that's kind of how I get through so many. Also, I just wanted to say, I know I say, can't wait to toss these in the garbage or throw them away, but a lot of times I do save the lids, or I do recycle the jars when I can, get that wax to come out. So I have a recycling center very near me, but they don't take everything. So sometimes I just use that slang, like toss it in the garbage, but I know I get through a lot of stuff. I try to be conscious of not, being that person. So when I can recycle, I do. I just wanted to throw that in there because I know I say toss in the garbage a lot, but I am conscious after these videos. I put everything to the side, and then we do have our own bins because where we were from, they actually provided us with bins and picked it up. Like garbage came through and then the recycling came through. But here it's local and we do kind of save some stuff and take it once a month or so, sometimes more, depending on how much stuff we have. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there because, I'm not the best, I will be honest, but I do really hard to try. That didn't make any sense. I really do my part, do try really hard to recycle what I can. So we're going to jump in. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about the single wicks because I have a follow-up video to the singles cruise, which was where I let a random generator kind of pick my blends. And that went pretty interesting. So I have a lot of thoughts I want to share with you from that video. So I'll save them here. But I'm going to show you quickly what I got through. So I did use this trio together. So it was a pink watermelon, which this doesn't have the notes, but it's like juicy watermelon, sugared strawberry, and lime. And it's interesting that when I burnt it with Mary Cookie, somehow it kind of made like a Fruity Pebbles scent. It was really good. They weren't like super close together, but since this is like the more candied scent in the watermelon family, the pink watermelon body care had more of like a dewy note. This really worked together really well. And I almost could smell, like this one I think has a little bit of lemon, but I think lemon's like the most prominent note in Fruity Pebbles. And I remember thinking like 2 separate occasions, like this together was kind of like Fruity Pebbles in a sense, like not super authentic Fruity Pebbles, but that fruity cookie could be like a cereal scent. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I actually like them. They were pretty far apart because pink watermelon is one of our little powerhouses that we've talked about. So this is, you would think this is a huge candle if you didn't know it was a small one, but, just based on the strength of its throw, the projection and whatnot. So they weren't like super close together, but in the same room, just on opposite ends. And I really liked this little fruity gourmand mix, but I wasn't quite sure how these would do. And they didn't do bad. They did not mix very well. This is a walk in the woods. This was delicious. And as you can see, I still have some wax, but I decided to go ahead and warm this one because it's a very strong scent. There's still a little bit of cinnamon in here. And I can't explain this in any other way except for like cinnamon and sunlight and maybe like leaves like blowing in the wind, but like in the spring, not in the fall. So this is a very nice candle. If this collection comes back, I highly recommend you guys try them out. I don't even know why that cinnamon note works, but it really does. And it's just a very like outdoorsy scent that's beautiful. So it's not like wet, gross leaves blowing around. This is like sunlight coming through. And again, I don't know who like tied some cinnamon bark to these leaves, but their efforts are not in vain because they smell really nice to me. So that worked really well with Mary Cookie. And like I said, when I had these burning together, Mary Cookie was my first to go out. Like I said, they burnt all very well. I warmed this one just because it was so strong. But these together, you could just smell like Jolly Ranchers and Outside, like I said, Cinnamon and Sunshine. So they didn't blend, but they weren't gross or like make something off-putting. But we'll talk about that more in my singles cruise video. I'm so glad I did that though, because very easily I was able to get through 15 single wicks, and I wouldn't have done that so intentionally without doing that video. So I do plan to do more of those random generator videos. I'm right now trying all that body care that I kind of set up, and some of it's going well. And I'll be honest, I'm putting the scents that were the most obviously going to be weird to the end. So I haven't actually even tried them all, but I am trying them, and I've got some thoughts. So I can't wait to bring that to you. That will probably be in June. So let's do our 3 wicks. I got through a bunch of 3 wicks this time. This was really nice. I got through a pink Prosecco frosting. I had burnt this halfway through and did a current burn review, and I decided just to finish it up. I do have a couple of backups on this one. This is from our $29.50 fancy jar collection is what we call it. I'm absolutely saving the lid, but I thought the whole aesthetic of this packaging, even down to the color choices, I love the mint green. I can't bring myself to finish. It's up here. I keep putting Springtime in Paris because it's a half burnt candle, and I kind of tell you guys that sometimes I don't really save half burnt candles. I can't bring myself to finish it. I just think the packaging's so pretty. And then the Toasted Coconut and Claire was in a nice white with a really pretty lid. So for the packaging, I loved this collection, and I really wish I would have actually got more Springtime in Paris, because that's why I can't bring myself to burn that one. But let's talk about what's the most important part, the scent. So the notes are pink sugared buttercream, fresh blackberries, and chilled Prosecco. And this is how it burned. It was really nice. I mean, I really didn't have any issues, as you can see. It all stayed really nice and clean. And this is just a nice, like, I do like that blackberry that comes through. I really liked blackberry creme frosting from the winter. That was a favorite of mine. This is not as strong as that, and it has that like pink sugar, almost like a strawberry sweetness to it. Not strong by any means, but that definitely makes it different. And I would say this one was definitely not as strong on throw or presence as blackberry creme frosting was. But I think it's really nice. I think this would be a really nice candle to blend with that one and make it even more pronounced in your home. And I have no bad things to say about this candle. It was medium. It was pretty. I really enjoyed it. I actually burnt this one in my bedroom and in this office. And in those size rooms, it performed just fine. I think it may be a little light for a huge space if you're just going to burn this one candle. But you know me, I like to blend. I bring you guys videos on blending all the time, and I can think of a lot of scents that would play very nicely with this one. Blackberries and basil would give it like a little bit of a dirt grit to that nice, pretty light pink frosting scent. But overall, this performed just like you'd think, because I don't think of frosting and think it's a super strong scent anyway. So I'm really happy with this candle because it performed well, and I could smell it the entire time it burned. And it was pretty. It was a very aesthetically pleasing candle. So this was a win for me. I don't even know if you can get it anymore, but I bought a few backups, so I'm good on this one. And like I said, I'm happy to have those so that I can blend it with things later down the road. Okay, so then I went through an oldie but a goodie, pink watermelon. You guys, with pink watermelon blast coming in and just this candle not seeming to go anywhere, I've been burning this with reckless abandon. I went through a single wick, I went through a 3 wick, but last spring I would never touch what I had because I didn't know if it'd come back, and I was so in love with this scent. So this is from spring 2021, and they had like this little color run jar. This really got me into, not got me into Bath & Body Works. I've always loved Bath & Body Works, but I was so excited about this scent. I remember when I started my channel, like you probably heard me talk about this all the time because I couldn't believe they had such a great scent. Now, my preference is fruity and gourmand. Those are my probably top 2, but I've been dipping a toe into everything, even florals, which I have florals here to share with you. But I knew I would love this. This is juicy pink watermelon, sugared strawberry blossom, and lime zest. So there's the notes for the single wick too. And like I said, what I love most about this candle, what surprised me, it was a pretty good burn. You know, every once in a while I get a little wick funk, but for the most part, it burnt really nice and clean. But oh my goodness, it's the strength of this scent. On cold, it's amazing, but when you light it up, before it even pools, you can smell this everywhere. So I just really love a candle that can do that, and it doesn't have to be like Paris Cafe or Mahogany Teakwood, which those are nice too, but this really holds its own. At the same time, it's very blendable. You can make a very juicy scent mixing a bunch of stuff with this candle. So that's what I like to do. And I do have a fresh blends coming, so I'm going to save my thoughts for that. But I'm glad to say that after a year, this performed just as well as it did before, and I've picked it up in the new packaging, and that's why I wanted to get rid of one, but I was sad when this candle was out. I'm always ready, and almost like it's hard to stop me from just going to grab another one for my collection and burning through, and that's when I really know that I love a candle. So this is one I do highly recommend if you haven't had your chance to try it. It is a very nice performer, gives you so much strength and throw. It's very present. It lingers after you blow it out, so you just have this really pretty candied scent. Some people are into the like sweet scents, but it's not sickeningly sweet. It's got a fruit, got a tarty presence, tarty, I make up words as I go, a very tart fruit, sugary presence. So it's all the things, watermelon Jolly Rancher, and I loved that candle. So I've had like literally this week, I'm just going to tell you guys all good burns. I was loving all the candles I used this week. So I'm not saving any of the worst or the best for last. These are all good. So then I finished up my Cozy Linen and Nectarine. This has notes of white nectarine, fresh linen, warm sandalwood, and sweet musk. This is just one of those reset candles for me. You can see, like, I wasn't ready to give up on this. I had one still going. I finally said, oh, okay, she's done. So that was just a little bit of that wick at the end, but it burnt really clean. It burnt really nice. That was just me, like, not being done. And then once I saw that it was just one wick going, I moved it. So it's all gross. It did not burn bad at all. And I like this candle for resetting scents in your air. So that's like if I'm burning a lot of strong fruity scents and I'm ready to switch to something else, or really strong florals, which I have one to share with you. This is a nice candle to burn for a couple hours. Open your windows, and it leaves a sweetness in the air, but it's nothing, there's no distinctive scents that are left. So it really kind of just resets your room, gets you ready for another candle burn. And you know, you're not like lingering other scents behind. But there's a lot of candles that do that. But this candle I really enjoyed doing that with. You really do pick up a nice sweet citrus, sweet, like not perfume, but the musk, the sweet musk. It's very sweet, but also a nice clean, you know, the sandalwood's clean, and there's fresh linens. That's always strong and clean. So I didn't think this candle overall was a powerhouse, but all the notes came together in a really beautiful way. Gave a nice like medium high throw, really refreshed my air. I just felt like, you know, I don't ever do this, but like you could like put just dryer sheets in your dryer and you have that beautiful scent. That's what these would be, an amazing dryer sheet scent. And I did pick up a backup of this just because once I was getting down to the end, I knew I would want another one. So I like everything I've tried from that collection too. A lot of them were repackages, but that was a nice new scent to try. And it kind of went with the theme of all the laundry we got for spring. 4 more, so let's keep rolling here. Here's Beach Weather. Look what happened. I dropped my candle. Thank goodness it wasn't right after a burn. I had it on a shelf, but the shelves come apart. There's like 4 pieces, and my shirt got stuck on the top and just like ripped it down. So this packaging, it didn't burn through or anything. That was just from dropping it. But I will tell you that then I lit it up because it was almost done, but it had a little bit left to go. I think because I had snagged the packaging, then that warmth kind of made it spread a little bit more. However, I just wanted you to know that wasn't from a crazy burn or anything. I loved the lids on this collection, which is simple, but like I said, I save lids just in case we run into a shortage. And the notes on this Beach Weather. So I really enjoyed this scent. I kind of heard mixed reviews on the scent itself, but for me, it was really delicious. It was sun-dried sandalwood, island coconut, breezy palm trees, and crashing waves. So I did burn this in conjunction with the cozy, I always forget if it's Cozy Linen and Nectarine. I say Cozy Nectarine and Linen. This was so nice. It was a little dirtier and earthy, but still had a sweetness and like I said, a refreshing scent as well. It burnt so clean and good. I picked up 2 of these, and like I said, that coconut in there is not too sweet, but when they say island coconut, I get a little creaminess and I really love it. But this was a really nice throw. I really actually enjoyed this so much. I'm not giving you a super great description, but I will tell you I burnt this in an open space, and it just really made me think summer. Like I said, my scent was refreshed. It was sweet and clean, and I was just thinking summer vibes all the way. So this one I really, really like. I know they're having a sale right now for Memorial Day. If you have not got your chance to try that, I really like that one out of the collection. It's not overly fruity and sweet or like a drink, but it definitely gives me that like summer beach day, warm sun on your, you know, like you're reading a book and the sun's warm and then the water's crashing and just makes everything smell good. I like it a lot. So Then I went ahead and used up a bubbly rosé. I just love this scent, you guys. It's not my favorite scent, but it is a nice sweet scent. It's pink sparkling rosé, sweet blood orange, splash of cranberry juice. This is another one that's really awesome to blend. Again, I lost a wick along the way, but that's all right. I was definitely like clumsy this week with my candles, and I'll say you can see it on the like as the wax got hard. I would move them too early, or you know, I'd bump them. I knocked one candle thing over. So I'm really lucky that nothing horrible happened. I didn't break anything, but you can just tell it looked like someone was like walking around with their eyes closed with these candles. But the scent on this one is so sweet, juicy, and like you get that effervescence. So, you know, kind of makes me think of like brunch, just like hanging out, chilling, having some fruity drinks with your girlfriends. I've always just really liked how comforting this candle is to me. It's not too much of anything, little fruity, little effervescent, definitely makes me think summer. So even though this was like at the Christmas time, I was like pulled this out to kind of just burn with some other things. And I really, really enjoyed it. I will continue to repurchase. I think it's got a nice throw. I think it pairs well with champagne toast, with some of your fruity scented candles. And it's never a powerhouse, but it's always present. So again, I don't need all of my candles to be like knocking me out of the room, but I can always smell this one when I have it going, no matter where I am in the room. I know bubbly rosé is burning, so that's enough for me. Okay, two more. Sorry, I am still dealing with allergies. When I started this video, I felt like my eyes looked like I was crying, and even though I am sad when candles are post-burn, I don't cry about it. So spring has sprung. This is a very pretty candle. My first year ever trying it. And the notes are Easter lilies, dew-covered grass, early spring air. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was nervous when I picked this up because I was just kind of like, I don't know if it's going to be too floral for me, but I'm really happy to say that I really enjoyed this candle. This is on one of my like unicorn lists for SAS. If I find it, I'm picking it up. I love this packaging, and I'm just going to tell you, even though I'm not heard anyone else say this, this is straight up 90s vibes to me with the daisies. I don't know what we were doing in the 90s with daisies, but like, it was my signature thing. So every time I look at the packaging, I think of my like childhood. I'm like, oh, that's so 90s, which it's just daisies, but whatever. And it should be lilies, but I think that's daisies anyways, or maybe it's really cartooned around lilies. I don't think so. Doesn't look like that to me, but anyways, packaging doesn't matter. Matte black lid, such a strong candle. Like if you love florals, I'm sure this is one of your favorites. This just really made me think of my granny, because we would always go to the little farmer's market, or there's like a little floral store, like an outdoor kind of thing, and pick her up some lilies around Easter. She always had the themes. Like she was very into gardening, very into plants. She planted a pine tree the day I was born, because I'm her oldest grandchild, and that's a long story. I'll tell it. So they lived in another town when I was born. When I was about 2, they moved to their, like where they are now, they built a home. And so they transplanted my tree. And when I was like 2, I had this picture of this perfect Christmas tree. We would go out and decorate every year. And then when they transplanted it, it turned into looking like a snowman. And I was like, wow, that really grew with me. So anyways, that's the story. But she was so into her yard, gardens, floral. So like this was something we did every year. And this just really, the whole time I burnt it, I thought of my grandma. Because it's so strong, but so sweet and pretty. The grass is really nice too, and the air. I like the air note in the spring versions of things, some body care and the candles mostly. I don't love it in fall, but we'll see if that changes this year, because you know, your scents change from time to time. That was an amazing candle. If you find it just sitting around for SAS, because it was part of Easter, and you like florals, or you have someone in your life that likes florals, it would be a beautiful gift. Okay, the last one from Bath & Body was a sweet rosemary vanilla. This was from the outlet, so I did get one that was probably from Canada, I'm thinking, and the notes are fresh rosemary, sweet vanilla cake, whipped frosting. And I picked this up because I think it was on like the $10 or $12 table. And I remember that when I burnt this the first time, it was so strong, and this one was too. I don't know if it was the dark colored wax. I will say this burnt really fast and strong. It was probably the last candle I burnt and I started from the top, and it was like finished first. So these are just those candles that you light, run to another room, come back, and it's halfway gone type of thing. But the throw on this candle is amazing. And it's just so, both of those things. It's like the strongest vanilla cake scent I think I've ever tried from Bath & Body Works, mixed with this like herbal rosemary, like just, you know, earthy kind of scent. And you would think that wouldn't work, but this totally works. I think I still have one more in my collection. And every time I burn one up, I'm like, dang, I wish they'd bring that one back. That was such a good scent. This really worked well for spring. but I can't stress to you enough how strong it is. So, I mean, vanilla scents we typically are okay with not being the strongest, but this one, no ma'am. This is so strong, and it projects so far. I think, again, if you have a cake scent or a vanilla cake scent or a vanilla cupcake scent that's not strong and you paired with this, it would like blow you out of your house. That's how strong Sweet Rosemary Vanilla was for me, and I absolutely adored it. So again, I think I have an outlet trip planned when I do take Aiden up to visit family, and if they have more of it, I do see myself picking it up. Okay, 2 more. Let's talk Kringle. I did not write down the scent notes of this, but this is my very last of the large jar 100% soy wax candles that I got, and I saved this one for last because when I lit it up the first time, I fell in love with this. Melanie from Mr. Kong's mom really sold me on this candle. And you guys, you all know, I'm sure you follow her. She does such a good job of describing scents that I really feel comfortable buying things on her recommendation. She just really digs into it and pulls it apart and kind of tells you what she likes about it. And then you kind of know from your scent preferences, like if it worked for you. And she was like 100% spot on. I almost don't want to say anything about this candle in case it's not like what she said, because I just remember I literally opened my phone and ordered it from her video where she was talking about it. And then as soon as I got it and smelled it on cold, I was like, that girl knows her candle stuff. But what I also love about these is that it burnt clean. It burnt so clean. I don't want to say the word abuse because that's so dramatic, but you really don't have to watch your Kringle candles. You know, your paraffin wax candles will get a little murky and possibly dirty, but these just burn clean and you can burn them for so long. And they do throw a good scent. I mean, let's remember that's their diameter. But I was able to light this all the way down to the bottom. This had completely melted and I decided to put it out. I didn't want to risk a crack, but it just had this beautiful sweet citrus zesty scent mixed with a little bit of herbs, and there's a little bit of greenery in there. So it's almost like you're truly out in an area where, you're picking fruit and you can smell all the outside stuff and the sweetness of the citrus inside. So I think there might be a couple of citrus notes in here, it might be lemon and orange, but orange really came through. I'm repurchasing this candle because I'm truly telling you, this was so good in the kitchen. And I don't know about y'all, but I love orange scents in the kitchen. Orange and lemon. Those are my scents. So this was a good burn. I was so happy to have it. It was well worth the money. And I will repurchase it and use her code because like I said, she sold me on it and she did not steer me wrong. Okay, my very last one was from Homeworks, and I did get through my Enchanted Peony candle. This is the 4-wick. Let me show you. The wicks really did good on this one. All the things I've said so far about the Homeworks candles that I've tried, I just don't feel the same about this one as the gourmand and fruity scents. This one has notes of velvet peony, pink camellia, I'm not sure, leafy greens, and fresh blackberry. Now, where I never felt like this candle went fruity, it did always have this sweetness that I think was really authentic to that fresh blackberry. I want to make sure I didn't say sweet blackberry. So it just kind of added something to the peony scent, but this was a really pretty, not overly powerful or powdery. It didn't choke me out. It was just so beautiful. And even I stuck to the burn time and watched my wicks, but these never laid down on me. They did get little mushroom tops, but not the ones that kind of I've been calling it Lorax trees because you guys just seem to understand what I'm saying. Where they're so heavy, your wick just struggles to stand up ever again, even if you burn for 2 hours. But this one this was a room filler. So that's what they claim to be. This one really filled the space, but it wasn't overpowering like peony. I mixed this with a couple of my fruity scents and it traveled really nicely, but it wasn't overpowering. It really mixed really well with fruity scents and the fresh scents. I would order another one of these for sure. And I think I will. I'm going to get through some that I have on hand, but this is definitely one I feel very comfortable recommending to you all if you like floral scents, and I plan to repurchase myself. So both of these are repurchases, which just makes me happy because I had jumped into Homeworks this season, and I've heard from some that say this might not have been the right season to jump in, but again, I don't know. These do have a pour thing. Mine, my code is F, which I think is fall, 210715. I don't quite know a Bath and Body Works code how to describe what that is, but I do believe 21 means the year 2021, and maybe it was poured in July 2021 for fall. So, this wasn't recently poured, which I think is where people are finding their wick issues. These weren't fragile wicks. They were small, but they stayed, you know, they were strong enough to withstand burning through this entire candle. I just kind of, you know, stayed on top of my burn time. And, you know, it's a little, like this wax is a little bit of like a lilac pink. So it's kind of coming off as dirty, but I don't think it really was at all because I'm not seeing any like soot marks. It's really more, I think, the color of the wax, because it was just slightly tinted. It wasn't like strong purple, but I wanted to say that because both of these are really clean burning candles. In my experience so far, I've had zero issues. So that's it, you all. That's all the candles I got through for May. I should have tallied them up, but I know I've done like 3 post-burn reviews with like 12 to 15 candles. So I do keep track. I just haven't figured it out for the month. I burned through a lot of candles this month. Now there's a little bit more traveling and busyness for summer or June. So I don't know if I'll get through as many candles, but I always do try because I love them. So let me know down below what you guys have been burning and loving. And if you tried any of these candles and had similar experiences or totally different experiences, you'll see a few of these in a blends video, because I've got one coming for you, like a fresh blends video on what worked together and what didn't. But I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much if you watched this point. This was a long one. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you in a video probably tomorrow. Bye.